Good morning and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm your host, Judy Mannings, and today's session is with Health Educator Jerri Haslem. Folks, we want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them, without regards to politics. When the pandemic began, AARP Alabama decided to continue our Healthy Living Online Mindful Movement events. Mindful Movement provides an opportunity for you to keep moving in the safety of your home. Hi, Jerri. What are we working on today?
Judy, good morning. We are all about the chair today. I've got something in store for you. You are going to enjoy, I promise.
Well, Jerri, I look forward to making this chair work for me today. And remember, before you begin any exercise routine, you should consult with your physician to make sure it's safe to participate. So, Jerri, let's make this chair work for us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Judy. Let's do this. Good morning, everyone. And I want to say thank you again for joining me for our mindful movement on Tuesdays. This is what we're doing today. It's all about the chair. You're thinking, Jerri, what, the chair? I say that because we spend a lot of times in the chair, be it you're at home or you're working remote, or maybe you're not working, you're just sitting down. And what I want you to get out of today's session is the fact that you can still move in a chair. A lot of times people will downplay or say, oh, I'm in a chair, so I'm not doing anything. I promise you, you can get a full workout, a sweat, a cardio, all from the comforts of your favorite chair. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm sitting down, and this entire workout today will be from a seated position. I'm sitting down. So if you think that you're ready to have some fun, let's do it. The first thing I'm going to do while sitting down, I'm just going to take my feet and I'm going to put them at what I call the legs of the chair. So I'm going to open up just a little bit and put toward the legs of the chair. So whatever you're sitting in, just take your feet apart, okay? And when you do, let us start with calf raises. Working our calves while we're sitting down. So we're gonna do our own. My heels, again, are against the legs of the chair that I'm sitting in. And I'm simply going to raise up. And if you notice, I'm raising up to the balls of my feet, waking up those calves. Now, this you could do while watching television, while sitting at your desk. A lot of times, if you've ever traveled for a long period of time, let's say the flight is over 8 hours, they always try to tell you to get up and move those legs to keep that circulating. And even if you were sitting down, this is something you can simply do from your chair. So you notice I've raised my calves up, and today I intentionally didn't wear tennis shoes because I want you to understand you don't have to be in sneakers all the time to get your workout in. You can be in any shoe. So I'm in my favorite little slide about, so to speak, and I'm just raising these calves and they are warming up. I'm going to do 2 more and then 1 more. Getting those calves, just waking those up, those muscles. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my feet in slightly, okay? It's almost like I'm pronating, I'm turning my feet in, which means that my knees also rotate in. And I'm going to raise my calves a little differently because we have 3 muscles that make up that calf. It's just not one. So we've got to raise that up and to get it going. So you notice I'm raising that up. I'm going to do 4 more. That's 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Now, what do I always require? If this is your first time or if you join me every session, I require a smile. If you do nothing else, You've got to give me that smile. I love that. Okay. So now we're going to turn those feet out. Again, I'm turning the feet out. So the feet are turned out, my knees are turned out, and I'm still raising up those calves, waking those calves up. So I've changed the position several times. This is taken out like a plie. I think I'm saying that correctly. I'm not a ballerina, but that would be the concept of taking those out. And again, if you were at your desk, if you were working from home or just sitting at your table, this is something that you can do to make that body say, good morning. Give me 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. A lot of times when we're doing exercises, and that's anywhere, this is just my preference as the instructor, I like to give you what I call functional movement. And the reason I say that is, what is the purpose of this in real life? What is this going to benefit me in my day-to-day activities? Those calf muscles are needed. When you're walking up steps, any type of movement, you want those ankles and those calves to do the work. So a lot of times, if we're just think about, we want to go out for a walk and we say, oh, I'm having some pain. I'm not feeling my best with these legs. I'm kind of sore. You want to make sure you're working your entire leg. So thinking about that literally from your ankle. Okay. So functional movement, how does this play in the real world? One thing that you may do at your home or somewhere, you may have to, what I call, tiptoe to reach something. And when you do that, you're engaging those calves, those ankles, and your balance. So that's a functional move. When we're tipping, we may have to tiptoe to reach for something in our cabinet, on the shelf of a closet. So think about those moves that can be incorporated in your day-to-day activities. Understanding that exercise is not a punishment, okay? So that's just moves for our calves right there, getting those calves working. One thing we're going to do is get this hip flexor, get this stretching done. And what you can do, if you're comfortable, I'm going to take my feet out and I'm just going to cross one foot. I'm putting my ankle up on my thigh. And this may not be comfortable for everyone, okay? It may be something, Jerri, I don't like that. Your body is so much smarter than me. You can take that leg and lower it down and just cross at your ankles, okay? Just giving that the stretch that your body and your range of motion is comfortable with, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that leg and I'm just gonna place it, I'm just putting my ankle on top of my thigh. And when I do that, you can immediately feel that stretch, okay? And what I will do, I'm sitting up nice and tall and I'm just gonna lean over. And believe it or not, that little 5-degree leaning over will give you an unbelievable stretch in that hip. You're thinking, wow, I just moved just a little bit. And that's all that's needed. It's a good stretch, it's warming it up, it's saying I'm awakened, and you can feel it immediately. And the further you lean over, the more you're gonna feel it. And again, I want you to lean over so you can feel it where it's uncomfortable but not pain, okay? I'm gonna sit back up. And if you did not place your foot up on your thigh, if you have it down here, the same move, you're just simply gonna lean over and you're gonna feel that in that hip stretch, that hip flexor. You're leaning over. So it's if, think about this. You have your shoes on, you're sitting in a chair and you reach down to lace or the buckle your shoe. That should not feel uncomfortable. Doing that move is another functional move. So if I'm leaning over to tie my shoe or to lace my shoe, it's fine, okay? So regardless of where your feet are, even if you didn't cross them, if they're right here, being comfortable to lean over. And I'm leaning all the way over as if I'm gonna reach down for my foot, okay? So again, let's think about these moves, this exercise in a functional capacity. So right now, let's go with the opposite side. When I say the opposite side, so I'm going to reach down as if I'm doing something to my shoe, and I'm just crossing my body over. I'm reaching down and I'm coming right back up. Notice I'm solid in the chair. I'm comfortable in the chair so I don't topple over, but I'm simply going to reach down to the opposite side. Give me 4 of those, okay? I want you to give me 4. I don't want you to watch me. I want you to keep your body fluid. So I want you to reach down and come back up. I want you to reach down again and come back up. And the last 2 I'm going to do, because what I don't want you to do is to look at me. I want you looking at the floor, keeping your rhythm just in that position. So you're going to go down and come up. You're going down and coming up. There you go. So let's do the other side. I would like 8 of these. Again, you don't have to look at me. Just listen. You're going to reach for the opposite foot, okay? As if we're going to tie or lace or buckle something. So we're going to go down. We're coming up. We're going down. It's that functional movement. When you're reaching down to put on your shoes, to lace your shoes, anything like that. That's what I want. I think I have 3 more. Sometimes I get confused with the count. I get to talking. So we're going to do 2 more just in case. I don't want to cheat us. I don't want us to be cheated. Give me 1 more. There you go. Reaching down, doing that functional movement. Okay. Now we did 1 leg. Of course, we have to do the other one. We have to. So again, I just can cross it over if I want. And one side may be more flexible than the other one. So I'm simply going to pick that leg up and you can feel it. You will know which side is, your dominant side, okay? Just like when I cross it over, you can feel that when you open up that hip. There you go. Where's my smile? No, I want to smile. I don't want that. I want that smile. There you go. Okay. Now, simply, you're sitting up and you're just reaching over with that back, that hip. And when you do that, it's just a small move. And I promise you can feel that. Yes. Opening up that hip flexor. We've got to be balanced on both sides, hip and our flexibility. There we go. That's what I want. I'm just going to sit back up. Okay. Hope you're comfortable with whatever level. If you're here or if your foot is here, it doesn't matter. But being comfortable to reach down and to do that move. I'm going to put both feet flat again. Now what I'm going to do, although I'm sitting down, I'm going to work my upper body. I'm going to take my shoulders and they're rolled back. I open up my chest. I'm simply going to take my hands down by my side, my upper body. And again, you can do this if you have a chair where you have handles. You just extend your arms out a little bit more. And what we're going to do, we're going to work our biceps with this. We're simply going to take our hands as if they're levers, and we're just going to bring them up and down. We're controlling this with our own resistance, bringing these arms up and down, and we can change the speed to make this as fast or slow as we like, but making sure that we control the movement. It's just not flopping. It's just not this. We're not doing that. We're giving it true resistance, okay? We have 4, 3, 2, and 1, okay? And when I say true resistance, that is what we call isometric exercises. And that's where you're resisting your body against your body. So you're acting as if you're your own weight, okay? So that was just our hands working our biceps like that. I'm going to actually bring my arms up to the side. And when I bring them up to the side, my palms are facing the ceiling. And I'm simply going to bring my hands to the front and take them back to the side. I'm simply doing this. And again, whatever speed you're comfortable with, we can change the rhythm. We can go halfway all the way, halfway to the front. We can play with this to give ourselves that exercise from the chair. Okay, so don't underestimate that chair. Don't think, oh, the chair, oh, whatever. you have the opportunity to keep that body moving. And I don't want you to cheat yourself, okay? Always keep that body. There you go. If you don't use it, what they say, you lose it. So we're moving. I want 4 more right here. And again, we can play with the rhythm as well as the speed of these arms, okay? I want 2 more. I want 1 more, and bring those arms down. Just gonna place those hands in my lap. Now, this is what I want you to understand. We can do a combination move. Yes, a combination. So by that, we can use our lower body, our legs, and our arms at the same time, okay? Doesn't mean that we just do one or the other. We can do both. So what we're gonna do, we're simply going to take the leg, lift it up, and when we lift up the leg, we're gonna press out the opposite arm. So we're gonna lift. We're doing this combination move. And I promise you, you'll feel that in that hip when you do it. So I'm extending the arm out, and I'm just lifting the leg, taking my foot, pulling it up. I want 4, 3, 2, and 1. As if we were literally marching, and we're doing our own movements, but we're still doing it by sitting down, okay? Let's go with the other side. Let's lift it up. There we go. We're doing a combination move. We're taking that leg, lifting it up, taking that arm straight out. There you go. I want 4, 3, 2, and 1. How about that? When you actually lift the leg, I want you to think about lifting that leg from your hip, not from your foot. Yes, your foot, it comes off of the ground, but I want you to lift it from the hip. So the entire leg is engaged. And when I say that, right here, I'm simply going to lift up. When I do that, you can feel it in the top of that thigh, okay? Your quadricep, you can feel that. I'm lifting that leg up high, okay? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lifting it up, not little baby lifts. We are lifting that leg from the hip, okay? Let's do the opposite leg. There we go. We're gonna do 8. Are we ready? Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I hope that felt like you were opening up those legs, getting them to move, okay? So we had our calves, then we had our hips lifting the leg. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to extend the leg out. So if you had your name written underneath your shoe, I should be able to read your name, as well as you should be able to read mine. So what will happen here, we're simply going to take the foot up and down. And what I'm going to do, so you can actually see that foot, I'm just going to slip this slide off just by pressing with the other foot. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend it out. So you should see my foot, the gray, and that's going to show you the difference. It's not here, it's completely extended, okay? And when I do that, I'm mindful of my knee. I'm not popping it, okay? It's just simply extending it up and bringing it down. So I'm not overextending. It's not a pop. It's just a fluid up and down. So you can see all of the foot, okay? It's an extension, almost a kick, but not like that, just fluid. So let's do 8. Ready? Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and put it down. And when I did that, as you can see, I kept my leg, my hip up the entire time. So it stayed up, and I simply extended it out, okay? And when you do that, you can feel it on the top, that quad. It's gonna feel a little warm, maybe even like, oh, this, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. And that's okay too. Okay. So we're going to do the other one because we have to do both sides. Okay. So what I'm going to do, the leg comes up, it's knocked down. Once I bring it up and I extend it for 8, I keep it up. Okay. And that's going to give you, it may actually feel like, you're tired. It may fatigue it. And if you don't want to do 8, you don't have to, but you have to give me a smile. Okay. So the leg is up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. You see how your that leg stayed up and you could feeling that, getting that body warm to do that. Now you may say, well, Jerri, what is that? What's the function of that? I don't get the function of that. Every time you get up from a chair, you get out of a chair, you're using that body to get up. So raising those legs, lifting those hips, that's a functional move. You just can't get up by pushing off your bottom, okay? You've got to use your core, your lower body. These are large muscle groups that require you to have movement. So you want to make sure you're moving. And again, you're getting out of a chair, out of a car. This constant up and down with this movement. That is what we do on a daily basis. So that's the reason we're incorporating function when we move. So I always like to think of it as exercise in disguise. If you were doing something at a speed, you're exercising and you don't even realize it because you're doing this every day and it just helps you. Okay? So that was that lower body. Let's take that ankle this time and let's work it some. Okay? I'm going to again take off this little shoe, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate the ankle. What you're seeing is the foot move, but it's the ankle that's doing the work. And you can feel that. You notice my leg is up. The leg is not sitting on the chair. I'm working that leg, that top of that thigh, that quadricep is being worked. And what I'm doing, I'm just rotating my ankle and I'm going to place it down. Now, again, what you see is the movement of the foot, but what you should feel is the movement of the ankle. And that's what's causing the foot to move. So the goal is not to rotate your foot. Your foot is being moved as a byproduct. The goal is to rotate that ankle. And why do we do that? Those ankles need to be strong. I can't tell you how many times, and this just happened to me yesterday. I was out walking and out of nowhere came a little dog. Now the dog was, I could put it in my hand. So I wasn't frightened, but the dog caused me to move quickly. And what I did, I knew the dog was in a fence, an invisible fence. But what I did, I came from the sidewalk to the street just to make sure I had that distance. Well, that quick move, that curve is maybe 2 to 4 inches. But that ankle, it reacted to it. It simply moved. And that's one reason, you want this body to be able to move like that. People say, what happened? He broke his ankle. She broke her ankle. And it may be a step or a curve, something small, having that ability and that agile movement and that strength because your body is used to doing it. So let's go with the other ankle, okay? And again, I'm rotating the ankle. The leg is up, but I gotta be honest with you. The foot looks like it's doing the work, but it's not. It's the ankle, okay? A little body part that you don't even think about. Gonna put it down. And of course we can take that and rotate it in the opposite direction. But it's just like anything. Your body knows the ability that ankle will roll and move. So it's not, I guess, in shock when it happens, okay? So those ankles, those feet, the calves, the legs, all of that, being able to move it, okay? What I'm going to do is simply march in place. When I march in place, I'm going to use my arms as well. So I'm marching in place. And you can do this. And when you do this, what you'll find is you're getting some exercise, some cardio, and literally you can feel this in your lower abs because you're lifting your leg up high enough. Your leg is not here. No, I want those legs to be an exaggerated march in that chair where your lower ab is engaged. Yes, we could add our arms to this by bringing them out, bringing them in, bringing them out. We can add all kind of things to this move, or we can let our hands rest in our laps. But we could do this for time or for count. So I'm gonna do 4, 3, 2, and 1. But what you can do, you can say, you know what? I'm gonna do that for 30 seconds. Or maybe you're stuck on a Zoom call after Zoom call after Zoom call. You've got to get up and move, and maybe you can't get up and move. So I want you to have that arsenal so you can move even if you're just sitting down. Because if you're sitting down, I don't know if you've heard this term or this phrase that sitting is the new smoking. And it is so true. We want to get up and move. So I encourage that. But even if you can't, if you're locked on a call and you can't do it, I want you to be able to move from that chair. So those are just some moves that I hope you'll be able to incorporate with speed and time and just make this enjoyable for yourself. Understanding that the chair is your friend. It's not a punishment. I don't care where you are. I want you to have that ability to move. And if you say, well, Jerri, I'm not moving like I used to. Well, guess what? I want that smile because it requires muscles as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed the chair today. I hope that maybe, just maybe, Judy was doing it and you at home or wherever you are. So again, I'm Jerri, and I thank you so much for spending some time with me this Tuesday morning. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. So Judy, are you moving?
Yes, I'm here, of course, Jerri, and definitely I have been moving in this chair. The chair got so excited, even it started sliding. So it was a very good workout. Thanks, Jerri. Folks, we dropped a survey link in the chat box, as Jerri just told you. Please take a moment to let us know what you think about the program. And if you have any questions for Jerri, please enter them into the chat section. Here's a quick commercial about our upcoming events, and we will check the chat session to see if we have anything in there. Okay, Jerri, I am waiting to see whether or not we have any comments in the chat session. Okay. Adrian Merritt says, thank you for a great program. I want more. Danetta Turner, love this, from Erie County, New York. Patricia Doss, thank you, Jerri. Very informative. Annie Clark, great workout from the chair. Thank you, Jerri. Mildred, thank you. Great program. So it appears as though this chair really received a workout today, and it's so good as you just shared. When you're in meetings and you're on Zoom meetings or just doing things on the computer, it really gives you an opportunity to use those muscles. If you don't use them, guess what? Jerry has already told us we will definitely lose them. So with a smile on our faces, and I don't see any more messages. Oh, Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, you can get in on this. She says, great workout. So I think everyone really enjoyed it. And Jerry, it was such a simple exercise, but yet and still, it's so good to get the body moving. Okay, we
Okay.
will see you next week.
Thank
Week
you.
after next. Week after next, right?
Yes,
Same time,
I'll
same
be here.
station. Okay,
Thank
keep
you.
moving, keep moving. Have a great day. Bye
All right.
bye.